Bobby, you're here again.
Yeah, my doctor told me to reduce stress at work, so I come to Buffalo Wild Wings to eat lunch and watch sports. I get to pick one of 7 entrees, like sandwiches and salads, plus one of 7 sides.
Well, I like sides.
It's so affordable I can finally take a vacation.
Where you gonna go?
Here, Tim, here.
Introducing the new B-Dubs Fast Break Lunch Menu, starting at a new low price. Dine in or order takeout weekdays between 11 and 2. Participation and availability may vary. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, and welcome to Conscious Talk Radio, and I'm your host, Linda Summers, and these shows are about relationships and all that that encompasses. And today's topic is Cracking the Imagination Code with Dan Faller. Before I bring Dan on board, I want to give you a little bit of background information about him. Dan has an extensive background in film, media production, and personal development coaching. Dan has spoken on many stages around the world, including A.J. Morishito's Speak Your Genius, Siobhan Moran's I Am Success Now, Kaiser Permanente, AT&T, eWomen Network, UC Irvine, and Webster University, to name a few. Dan has written 5 books that has helped thousands of people from Number of Man to Rewrite Your Story, Reshape Your Life. Dan shares his life experiences with his readers to remind them of their spiritual birthright. Dan's latest book is called The Imagination Code and will be available late 2016. Dan also educates marketing-driven entrepreneurs how to create highly gamified experiences that are meaningful, co-creative, collaborative, and immensely profitable. The latest success story in this event, Imagination IQ, that was produced and delivered in this new epic event model. You can learn more about Imagination IQ at his website, www.imaginationiq.com, and we'll have all that information on the video as well. So with that, I'd love to welcome Dan to the show. Hi, Dan.
Hello, and thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for joining us. I know you have this major epic event that's coming up in just a couple of weeks, and so we'll talk about that as well within the show. You know, I really want to begin because you have really an extensive background in film and media, personal development, and all of this. So, yeah, I want to kind of dive into this, the Imagination Code, and how did you get involved? Can you give us like a brief intro as to how that all came about?
Yeah, well, it was a long time coming. It wasn't like a snap of the fingers and voila, I was there. I always loved. I know people think that success happens overnight, but overnight success usually takes 25 years. So
oh gosh.
I was always into filmmaking. I was always into writing scripts. I've written 28 feature-length screenplays as well. 4 of them have been optioned by major studios. I always wanted to see my writing become something. So that's what I got into production for way back in the day, and because I wanted to produce my own stuff. I wanted to see my stuff come into fruition. That evolved over time from producing rap videos to producing commercials and then doing work in corporate stuff and then leading into the entrepreneur world for marketing videos and educational videos and e-learning. And my clients kept coming back to me, and a lot of them had similar experiences with me, but 4 in particular, over a course of 2 years, told me something that didn't clue in until recently, probably in the last 7 years or so. And they told me that we could go to lots of places to get great media production content. Good video, good audio, good production. I mean, you can go lots of places for that. However, we come back to you every time because you do something that none of the other production companies we've worked with do. I'm like, well, pray tell, what is that? And they said, well, for whatever reason, you're able to jump into our heads, be able to extract our ideas, and be able to articulate them to us before we can articulate them to you, and then be able to engineer those ideas powerfully and profitably through media content. And I was like, oh, wow, well, thank you, awesome. It took 4 clients to say something very similar to me over the course of 2 years for finally to sink in. And these same clients are the ones that gave me my title that I hold today, that I finally owned up to. They called me the Imagination Engineer because I was able to engineer their imagination powerfully into the world through the media content. So I decided I needed to figure out what in the world I was doing naturally that others weren't doing, that I was achieving these results. Because I thought all production companies did that. They just had that thing. And so I kind of figured out what I did. I tracked it backwards and then realized that this was a system, that I was a program that I was executing for myself, and that it not only was replicatable, it was also teachable. And so I realized, I can teach this to other people so they can engineer their imagination powerfully and profitably in the world too.
Wow. That's incredible. So can you give us some idea of what that looks like? So the listeners are probably going, what is imagination or engineer imagination? Like, what really is that? Because, when you think of your imagination, you think of creating and things like that. So can you elaborate on that?
Sure. Well, imagination to me is not just fake world or fantasy land, where a lot of us adults have kind of coined it that it's no longer applicable to them or to us as adults because, we've grown up. But actually, I believe imagination is the most powerful asset that any of us have, including business owners. And if we're not tapping into it, we're missing out on a lot of dollars on the table. We're leaving money on the table. And so imagination engineering, or just imagination in general, I've kind of demystified this with my clients and showing them that imagination is truly the operating system of your business universe, or just your universe in general. But it's your operating system. If you're able to control the programs and the files and the data that are in your surrounding areas, in your mind, in your workplace, just in your atmosphere, you're able to create new things, innovation. You're able to manipulate and manifest the things you are looking to manifest if you're understanding the rules and the operating systems behind it. So it's just like a PC or a Mac. You've got a computer, doesn't have any programs on it, but it has an operating system. It's got Windows or it's got iOS on it, and you can't load programs on your computer unless you have an operating system. You can't access data or images unless you have an operating system. And you can't access the Internet without an operating system to run a program called like Google or Yahoo or whatever you use. So all of these things are controlled and manipulated by the imagination. And so I teach clients how to tap into this resource that we have neglected over time, and that from the imagination is where all reality comes from. Everything we take for granted, from cell phones to cars to hair dryers to all the technology that is available today, it all came from somebody or somebody's imagination and innovation from such to bring it into the world.
Absolutely.
So
and
there's a big thing. Oh
no, go ahead.
Yeah.
Just continue on.
No, I was just going to say that process is where most people get stuck, is taking what's in their head, their imagination, and be able to translate it into the material world. And this is a process that I call ethereal to material. And a lot of people don't know what that bridge is, and this is what I teach my clients to do.
I love it. Well, I was going to say, because, and you're right, when we think of imagination, it's only just for kids. And then as an adult, we think, how can we, it's so big, the dream is so big, how can I take this and create something from that? Because we're not used to, as adults, being able to think like that and using the right brain.
Yeah, and it's not just the right brain. It's actually both brains at the same time. Hence my name for my big event, Imagination IQ. It's both right brain and left brain working at the same time, optimized at full potential. It's not a toggle switch. And we have been taught and raised in society that you either have to be creative or then you have to be analytical, and back and forth, back and forth. And it's not the case. If you want to have full maximum manifesting powers in your life, in your business, your relationships, it's about having them both optimized for maximum potential all the time.
I love that. So you're talking about the balance, because everything in life has to be balanced anyway. So you're talking about balancing and using both sides as opposed to jumping back and forth. So, because you do have a workshop coming up, so you want to talk a little bit about that, because I'd like for you to also explain the Imagination IQ and really how does one be able to go and kind of weave within. It's almost like I see this infinity sign.
Yes.
Do you know how we kind of
absolutely. Absolutely. So, I mean, when you use balance, and I prefer the word harmony, because sometimes you're going to be using more of your left brain, but you must be backing it up with your right brain, too. There's certain times where I'm going to have to do math. Math is total left brain. It's not right brain at all. But then I can conceptualize with the math, and that's right brain. So it's back and forth. And so there's this harmony between the two. Balance, to me, has its place. However, in most things, when you're talking about complex systems, it's not about balance. It's about harmony. If you had a big orchestra and you basically balanced everybody who's playing, it would sound horrible. You must harmonize the frequencies across the board. Sometimes the timpanis come in, sometimes the flutes are there, sometimes it's a sax. And sometimes it's everybody in their right place, depending on the beat and measure of the music. And that is the ebb and flow, the harmony of the piece. And this is what life is, too. It's one big song. And so for Imagination IQ, our big event, it's a 3-day event, and I teach them those things that I basically reverse engineer back in the day with my media production clients. I teach them the 6 steps to manifest on demand in their businesses, in their relationships, in their life. It's a universal system principle that I have applied to everything in my life with miraculous, use it that word, but miraculous results. It's not woo-woo or not. It's very scientific. It's very systematic, but there's a process to it to be able to create a manifesting engine out of yourself. That's what we do there.
That's incredible. That's amazing. Well, and I know that you talk about how one can tap into their ideas and profit from those. So once we tap into their, so you're talking about where you can build your business, you can profit from that. Can you give us some tips on how to do that? Sure.
So the biggest thing, like a lot of entrepreneurs I work with, is, I've got this great idea to do X, Y, Z, to solve this problem or create this product and do something. And that's great. But the reason why they can't bring it into the world is because they personally are not ready for it. I tell this to all my clients, and you may have heard this before, is that you never manifest what you want, ever. You never manifest what you want. You always manifest who you are. And so if you're not ready for the idea to be manifested through you as the conduit, because that's where the conduit's going to come from, you're the energy conduit of this idea turning into material form. If you're not in alignment with that idea, the frequency of that idea, you will not be able to bring it into this world, into this material sense. You must become better. You must become better, be better. So the being must precede the doing. And a lot of entrepreneurs out there today try to do, and they try to work hard. Nothing wrong with working hard, but it doesn't have to be hard work.
Big difference.
No, big difference. So the issue that I always see in entrepreneurs is they're trying to do the next thing, go to the next conference, buy the next program, buy the next gizmo or gadget or tech piece, or add this thing to their business, and all they're doing is adding on dead weight, and then they overwhelm themselves with the doing and they're not dialing into the being and really getting the discernment level really, really high on what exactly they need to do. The being precedes the doing.
Can you elaborate on that? Because I feel like there's the listeners are having some question around that as well as I do. Because when you said the only way to manifest is to manifest because it's coming through you. You said that who you are.
Absolutely. So let me explain. I'll use an example we can all grab onto here. Confidence. We talk about confidence in sales or in the workplace, right? Confidence is good. If you don't have confidence, then you're going to probably sell less. Well, why is that? Is it because the product is inferior? No. Somebody else that has more confidence than you at any given time might be selling more than you are with the same exact product. So why are you having trouble selling? It's because of and people say, got to have more confidence. You've got to be, you're going to believe in what you're doing. That is the being part. You cannot achieve the results of a heart connection, of an actual buying connection either, unless you are showing up properly, that you are resonating at that place like people. I want to know more about this person. I want to hear what they have to say. And wow, I like this person, so this product must be awesome too. They have lots of confidence, so on and so forth. They make lots of judgments along those lines, and it's all subliminal, all subtle behind the scenes, but we're making instant judgments based upon people's energy in the room or on the phone or on the internet. And so if your energy is at a place where you're not sure if this is the right thing for you, you're not sure if you're going to make this sale, you're tired, you're irritable, you're annoyed, that's going to translate, even if you try to fake it. It's going to translate out into the world, and that's the being. That's you. That's you causing the interrupt between what you want and what's actually happening. Does that make more sense?
Wonderful. Absolutely. So then how can one flip that around to be able to become in alignment with whatever they're trying to birth or bring through?
Yeah. So this goes back to these 6 steps. So, and I'll just run through them very, very quickly, my 6 steps. At the event, we go into great detail and in-depth of each one of these 6 steps and how you can actually practice this in your life and daily rituals that can be done so you can become a manifesting engine. So the first step is awareness. I know you probably hear this word a lot floating around there. My interpretation of awareness is understanding why you are where you are. I'll say that again. Awareness is about why you are where you are. So really ascertaining, like, what have I, who am I right now? Why am I showing up? How do I feel? Really dialing into how you're showing up, whether it's to yourself, to your friends and family, or out in the business world as well. How you're showing up shows big, and being very aware of that. And if there needs to be some tweaks with that, maybe some let go, some releasing, some whatever. We go into great depth on that at Imagination IQ. Number 2 is what I call energy output. Energy output. Now, you probably heard with a lot of teachers and spiritual teachers and energetic teachers, and maybe just people in general saying, I'm going to throw my intention out to the universe, right?
Yes.
I tell my clients, don't do that. Don't do that. That actually dissipates your energy when you do so. It's actually it's incorrect, and I'll explain why. So the universe is a mirror for you. It is a support system for you, whether you want to call it God, the universe, source, whatever. There's a support system energetically, spiritually, metaphysically that is there for you to tap into, and we have been able to prove this through science. Whatever you want to call it. I'll call it the universe. So people setting an intention, a powerful intention, and they're shooting it out to the universe, and a lot of them, I've heard of this, maybe you have too. I'm going to shoot my intention out, and it's going to come back like a boomerang from the universe, and I'm going to catch it, and off I run. And I say, well, really? Well, there's something wrong with the physics there. This has got to go along with the physics and the math. That's why I'm a big science guy, is that if you throw a boomerang, if I were to throw it perfectly, in order for me to catch that boomerang, I have to do one thing, which is stand still. And in this universe, standing still and not in motion and not in movement, not in growth, not in evolution, means you are dying. In order for you to wait for a boomerang to come back, and usually it does not because you've dissipated your energy. So what I tell my clients to do instead is think about this word, intention. It is an inward thing. You are tending within. You are setting the tension within your own energy field to say, this is what I'm all about. This is how I'm going to show up, and I'm going to emanate this, this new job. I'm going to emanate the frequency of this, of more money, of a new relationship, of whatever it is. You are tending within. And if you look in medical journals, too, they use the word intention a lot. And they are using it in the term of healing, the intention that was used to heal a wound. Well, this is what's happening. Every time you set a proper intention, you are healing yourself. You are aligning yourself. You can use a lot of words for this, but you are becoming better every time, becoming better. That goes back to my whole manifesting idea. You be before you do. And so that's the energy output. And then that leads into a strong, very dense energy that is within your own field, and you're creating what I call the gravity well, number 3. People love this one. This is their most favorite step of them all, because the gravity well is basically like you are like a big black hole, and nothing can escape your pull. It's law of attraction here. You are drawing in more and more raw materials for you to utilize, whether it be people or places or time or energy or money, whatever. And that is from a powerful intention. You can't have that without a powerful intention in your field. Once you draw those in, then number 4 is imagination. It's number 4 because imagination comes from the old French word. It's from the old French word image. Means to manipulate images and data in the mind. That's what it means. So you have to have stuff there in your access in order for you to manipulate it. And that is where the imagination comes in. You've drawn it all in with your gravity well. Now you get to manipulate that and put pieces together in order to create and innovate something brand new into the space. Now that you've put all the ingredients of the cake into the pot, you mixed it all up, you poured it in the pan. Now what do you have to do with it? Number 5 is dreams is not just about sleeping, but it's also about conscious dreaming. It's about incubation, about cooking time. So we will put that cake in the oven, and we're going to let it sit. We're going to turn the timer to go for as long as it needs to. Sometimes that's 1 second. Sometimes that's 1 year. But it's got an incubation time to go to cook. Now, if I were to open the oven and keep poking at the cake while it's in its incubation time and keep pulling it out, what am I going to end up with? A pretty crappy cake. Right.
Yeah.
I have to let it sit. Yeah, I have to let it sit. And then the last step is the easiest step of them all, which is step number 6, and that's manifest. Manifesting is really easy at the end if you've got your other 5 steps in line. Manifesting is pulling that cake out of the oven, putting the icing on, slicing it up, and serving it to people. It's ready to be served. But if we keep poking at it and we don't have the right kinds of ingredients drawn in so we can manipulate that stuff with great, powerful intentions, and we're not even aware of what's going on, we're not going to have a great product or a great whatever it is, service, coaching, education, you name it, to be able to serve to the world. Once you get the system in place, it becomes like a manufacturing plant for you. You just keep doing it over and over and over again. You know, once you manifest, you gain new awareness with the clients that you are now serving up your cake to. Now your more awareness leads to a higher energy output with a greater intention, more gravity well, more imagination, more incubation with dreams, and then you manifest again. And it becomes a perpetual cycle. This is why we call it manifest on demand.
Right. I love that. That's incredible. Well, let's talk about can you share with you about your workshop that's coming up here real soon?
Absolutely.
It's amazing. Yes.
Yeah, so Imagination IQ, it is a 3-day event, and the next one's up in Walnut Creek, California. That's the Bay Area, California, Northern California. And so we're having it for 3 massive days, having great speakers on all different kinds of modalities. It is unlike any other event you probably have gone to. It is not the traditional sit in a hotel chair and look up at a stage and see all the speakers and watch PowerPoint presentations. That's not what we do. We're in nice, comfy couches. We're in the round where there are no stages. We are doing exercises and activities, full body movements to help you with learning. We're doing live art, live drama, all of those types of things. And it is, I kind of describe it like a Broadway show meets the House of Blues meets The Price is Right. It's kind of a game show type of feel with live music and all this other great stuff. So you can be in a place that makes you feel like a kid again, and you're open. You're open to the possibilities of not only learning something more, but being able to apply it to experience, meaning you get to walk out of there more wise than you were before. And we teach the Imagination IQ system, this imagination engineering or manifesting on demand. I go through those 6 steps through the 3 days in immense detail, and we have lots of exercises and activities so you can practice it in our lab space that we've created for you.
Amazing. Well, I saw pictures of it. If anybody hasn't seen pictures, they need to really go to your website and really check that out because it is a very, very different venue than anything else I've ever seen, which is amazing.
Indeed. Well, I went to lots and lots of events, and I still do, speaking on stages or just going as attendees, and I can pretty much tell you how the event is going to roll because I've been to so many others. They're structured very similarly. I'm like, am I the only one that is just exhausted at the end of these things, and that I feel like an energy suck? Do I feel like this is out of integrity? And obviously not. I did a survey of that was about live events, and since I was going to live events, I put it on my iPad, and over a course of 18 months, I interviewed about 400 event goers, and they took my 2-minute survey on my iPad, and after that, I tallied up all the data, and I took the survey, and I answered my questions, and I compared the data, and lo and behold, 98% of all their answers were exactly like mine. Like I just didn't like it. I had pet peeves about it. But then I realized, well, that was weird. If they don't like it, why do they keep going? There's people, hundreds of thousands of people that go to these events. And the number one answer was they didn't think that there was an alternative. And I go, okay, God, I get it. I get it. I have the production background. I have the stage background. I have all this stuff, and I'm the one being really bugged by it. I guess it's time for me to create an epic event experience.
Absolutely. And you've taken all of what you know and created this because it really is about play and really bringing up the energy and going to other seminars, nothing against those, like you said, but when you're just being filled with more information, you're getting more product, how many times do people really take that information and apply it, or how many times does it just sit on their shelf or after years? I know for myself, I've either trashed it after years or forgotten about it and haven't done anything with it.
Yeah, it's rampant. It's not that, like I said, I'm not bagging on those things. I just think for me, I needed to manifest something bigger for me. And then, lo and behold, there was lots of people who were watching that too.
And so do you find that, a couple questions. So really what I hear you saying when, because I feel that when we raise our frequency, our energy, that things become more possible and we're at that higher vibration, we can actually manifest from that space because we are in such a higher vibration. Would you agree with that, or do you think, because this is what I feel it's happening where you guys are, when you're doing these events, that the vibration and the energy is so high and just being open to the possibility and not having a thought, okay, this is how it's going to do, this is how it's going to work, and you have this whole, structure thing, so to speak, that it's not like that at all. And so people are able to manifest from that.
Yeah, I would say that's dangerous to say it like that because a lot of people think that that's all they have to do is like, okay, I'm going to raise my frequency and get around a lot of positive people and to be all like creative and in that juice. Okay, that's great, but that only helps you with the first step, which is awareness, understanding why you are where you are. That raising a higher frequency for yourself is not alignment with what you're wanting to achieve in this world. Those are two different things, two different processes. So, yes, get more aware. Get to a higher frequency, which allows you to have more awareness, more openness. So they're like, okay, I know why I am where I am, and now I need to do the next steps. I need to change the way I make intentions. I need to create draw on more raw materials and so on. Now, this whole thing of alignment or frequency alignment, you are changing your frequency. And everything that you want to create in this world has a frequency as well. It's like a radio station, okay? So you have your radio in your car, and you tune it to a specific station, numbers, 94.2 or whatever it is. That specific station is a specific frequency number, okay? And that frequency number corresponds with a transponder signal from the radio station. So you only pick up that radio station and not any other radio station, right?
Right.
So a lot of us, though, are stuck in between stations, and we get a lot of static. So it's a lot of mixed up jumble confusion, and we don't get anything, nothing of value anyway out of that static. We need to be able to dial in to that frequency that we're looking for. Everything has it, whether it's the new car, the new job, the new relationship, the money in the bank account, the new business deal, whatever it is, has a frequency that must be dialed into. So raising your personal frequency is one thing, and then being more aware that it's like, okay, now I'm going to dial in my intention to be laser focused towards the things I intend to create.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Well, one last question. What is one thing that you can share with the listeners who are listening that has really helped you on your journey?
Yeah. Wow, there's so many things that have helped me. I think the number one thing is I learned or relearned, I should say, as an adult, to turn off my self-edit button, turn off my self-edit filter, if you will. So as kids don't have a self-edit, meaning, or at least it's very, very low. They always think of what's possible, not what's realistic or what's practical. They always think of what's possible. So for us as adults, we always look at, here's an opportunity, and then we edit it, going, well, I'm going to chop this off, chop that off, because that's not possible. I can't do this. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. No. You go down the laundry list, and then it becomes this little teeny opportunity that we may or may not take advantage of. And even if we do take advantage of it, we cut it down so much that it shows up minuscule in our lives. And then we wonder why we're not getting that big bang for our buck and we're not fulfilling our dreams. Well, we're the ones chopping it up before it has actually come into the world. So I guess the biggest thing for me is really saying, let it all hang out, especially in the interim, especially in the idea and imagination stages, is let it all go. No idea is stupid. No idea is above, consideration. And eventually you will edit down. Of course, everything's going to get edited down. But don't do that first. We tend to do it all first, and then we end up with the leftovers.
Wow, incredible. Well, Dan, thank you so much, really, for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Delivering this fun and playful and this, using the imagination. You've got this amazing event that's coming up, Imagination IQ, June 16th through the 19th?
It's 16th through the 18th. So it's 16th through the 18th. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 16, 17, 18 of June. It's coming up just in a couple of weeks here. And you can get tickets. You can go to imaginationIQ.com, but that's full price. So I want to give you a special link, which is it's a shortened link. So it's a bit.ly link. So it's bit.ly/IIQ June. So IIQ June, all one word, bit.ly. It's a bit.ly link. So bit.ly/IIQ June, and it'll actually take $500 off of your ticket. And that early bird ticket is actually good all the way through till midnight on June 3rd, which is tomorrow when this is airing live.
Awesome. Great. Well, we'll have all that information up, too, so you guys want to do this. It's in Walnut Creek. This sounds to be a powerful, epic event. I wish I could be able to make it, but Dan, thank you again so much for being on the show. It was just incredible. It's fantastic. I love what you're doing in the world and really helping people to create and just get back to being playful and having fun and different. Awesome.
Giving yourself permission to imagine is one of the key things. So thank you for allowing me to share.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you again. And thank you for all the listeners out there who joined us today and the ones who will be joining us via YouTube. We thank you so much. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, comment, and like us. And you can join me next week for the next show on June 9th for Women's Personal Development Taken to Another Level with Michael Peak. So again, Dan, thank you so much for this incredible interview today and just bringing all your information, wealth, and knowledge and what you're doing out there and having these seminars and making a difference. So we really appreciate it.
Thank you. Blessings to you.
Thank you. And thank you all again. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bobby, you're here again.
Yeah, my doctor told me to reduce stress at work, so I come to Buffalo Wild Wings to eat lunch and watch sports. I get to pick one of 7 entrees, like sandwiches and salads, plus one of 7 sides.
Well, I like sides.
It's so affordable I can finally take a vacation.
Where you gonna go?
Here, Tim, here.
Introducing the new B-Dubs Fast Break Lunch Menu, starting at a new low price. Dine in or order takeout weekdays between 11 and 2. Participation and availability may vary. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Grand Canyon University is Arizona's premier private Christian university, committed to providing next-generation education for students who want to make a difference in the 21st century workforce. GCU offers more than 190 academic programs in high-demand fields across 9 distinct colleges, including our prestigious GCU Honors College. Earn your degree online, in the evening, or on our vibrant Phoenix campus. Fast-track options and academic scholarships still available with no out-of-state tuition. Visit gcu.edu.